Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And James Ramos from At the Quarter Pole. And here's my third segment from the Kentucky Derby 150 2024. And my latest reflections on the races that were past a couple of weeks. Uh, the first speed rating horse I'd be looking at would be Fierceness, as he looks to be the favorite for the Kentucky Derby. And he's earned those honors by winning such a fantastic race in the Florida Derby by 13 and one half lengths. He has buyer figure was 110. He wasn't challenged. The horse that was supposed to give him all the challenge was Hades, who got shut off on the inside. And now he's out of the Derby. That is Hades, because he didn't have enough points to make it in the Kentucky Derby. A horse that would be a speedball with him would be Dornock. Dornock did not look impressive at the Bluegrass Stakes, won by Sierra Leone. He couldn't hold the rating, had the inside of the fourth slot. Around a clubhouse turn, he was fighting the jockey for almost four furlongs, and he just looks like he wants to be out. He wants to be on the front end, and that goes for a lot of these three-year-olds that want to just be in the front end, dictating the pace, a la Dornock Fierceness. They don't seem to want to rate or settle. Right now, the pick right now behind him is Sir Leon. Sir Leon was my second pick in the first segment of being one of the top horses to win the Kentucky Derby. The unfortunate thing right now, he looks like he's going to be the second choice. He won the Bluegrass Stakes quite impressively. He came from last, not even from way out of it, from dead last, and won the race. They had set up a race for him at 22 and 46. So we're going at a really quick clip in the Bluegrass Stakes, and he swallowed them whole. If you look at the 1/16th of a mile, he was always on his left lead until he changed out to his right lead. He began to really move forward. He's still a win prospect. Am I going to take him at less than 6-1? No, I'm not going to take him at less than 6-1. Is that being greedy? Is that being nonsense? Well, with the way Kentucky Derby has been running the last 3 or 4 years, that's not either being either here or there. I'm just not taking a top contender who likely would be less than maybe 5-2. I have my fair odds. What I predicted the morning line would be for the Kentucky Derby over the Horse Race Nation, and their fair odds, I'll give that in my second go around after I give you the rest of my spiel here for the Kentucky Derby segment 3. The closers look outstanding. The horse that you have to keep an eye on would be Endlessly, owned by Ehrman Stables. He won the Jack Ruby Stakes, and right after Jack Ruby Stakes, he had no intention in running in the Kentucky Derby. Why? Because he thought him being out of Oscar performance would handle the Bowling Green better. And all of a sudden, they changed their mind. And you have to give this horse a quick look, because he is going to be a really good price. I had him at fair odds. Let me take a look at this again. My fair odds for Endlessly at 10-1. Horse Race Nation has him triple that at 30-1. Why? Because they don't know if this horse is going to handle the regular dirt track. I believe this horse would not be in the Kentucky Derby if the owner and the trainer didn't think he had a shot in this race. At 30-1, that's really up my alley right now. A horse that also looks really good right also is the Catching Freedom. Catching Freedom won the Louisiana Derby, trained by Brad Cox, and will probably be ridden by Laurent Leroux. And why do you have to look at this horse closely? Brad Cox took out his number one contender, Timberlake. Timberlake won the Rebel Stakes at mile 116. He came with Chopin the Arkansas Derby, ran beaten by Muth. Brad Cox stated that he didn't believe that his horse was able to handle a mile and 1/4. I don't buy that. I think the horse handled a mile 116. He could handle a mile 1/4, because he doesn't really need to lead. Matter of fact, he's one of the rare horses that could come off the pace, and now he's out. A horse that also has a nice kick that comes right off the pace, but he's a stalker, is Forever Young. He was quite impressive at the UA Derby. He had the catbird seat, 5 lengths off 2 horses that were really going out of there. The horse that impressed me in that race, that was not going to run the Kentucky Derby, was Audubon, who set most of the race, and he still held second, but he's not running the Kentucky Derby. But Forever Young is looks like he's got a good shot, especially coming from the distance. Sierra Leone, Endlessly, Catching Fever, and Forever Young are just going to love a mile and 1/4. Can this race dictate that all 4 of these cars are going to hit the wire right next to each other? Maybe, probably not. But the speed horse, Fierceness, is going to have the edge to have the horse's speed and try to rate or just send them in the way it is. I'm not taking Fierceness lead, because I think I'm looking at the bounce after the Florida Derby, after he ran 110 speed figure or buyer figure. it'll bounce off into the Kentucky Derby. I just don't see a repeat performance off that great Florida Derby. So right now, still only in his adjuncts and trifectas and not a win bet. But I'd use Sierra Leone bottom down to the trifecta with Forever Young endlessly catching freedom in the trifecta. The superfecta still would use the domestic product. He's a little bit under, so I'm kind of now iffy about it. He ran a couple of good races. He won the Tampa Bay at G3, which is not really a great race anymore, not even Derby for a Derby prep. He had a good second against Hades and a Holy Bull. So now let's go to my comparison to fair odds. My interpretation of fair odds. This is James Ramos about the quarter pole fair odds to Horse Racing Nation. Right now, if I was in the fair odds right now, fierceness would be at 6-5. Why? Because of course the Florida Derby win. And Horse Racing Nation has a nice hearty 3-1. I don't see 3-1. I'm going to watch the race. I'll bet the race. But to see him at 3-1, I don't see it. I really don't. Sierra Leone, my fair odds was 9-5. People say 9-5. We closed, yeah. But he's been a top prospect. He hasn't missed a dance. He won He won the not Louisiana Derby, the RZA Star in and off track and came flying where he hooked the bias and track Phantom in the race. He won the Bluegrass Stakes quite impressively. My fair odds was 9-5, over 7-2 at Horse Racing Nation. That just stands up. Maybe that'd be a $50 exacta box, but I still wouldn't take it. Catching Freedom, the Brad Cox charges at my fair odds of 6-1. You're getting a really good Horse Racing Nation to have them at 10-1. I'll take that. Endlessly, as I stated earlier, is at 10-1, 30-1, 30-1, ladies and gentlemen. Forever Young, I had him a little bit higher at 10-1, because I don't know how he's going to act on the track. If he could also, coming from Dubai, if he's going to handle the United States surface at Kentucky for the Kentucky Derby with 175,000 people, all that noise, I'm not sure if he's going to handle the track. But that's why my fair odds was at 10-1, because he is a good horse. Horse Racing Nation dropped him only a couple of points at 8-1, which it's about where that looks as about pretty fair as you could get. Stronghold, the winner of the Santa Anita Derby, 20-1. 20-1. Horse Racing Nation had him at 15-1. Horses also Resilience, the winner of the Wood Memorial. I had him at 20, and also Horse Racing Nation had at 20-1. Dornock, I did not like the Bluegrass Stakes and the way he won slowly on that race where he won before the race he won before the race of the Bluegrass Stakes. I have him at 30-1. Horse Racing Nation has 12-1. Maybe they know a little bit more than I do on information. I was not impressed. I see him pulling on the jug from the inside. Wants to be the outside, free running. Let him hook up with fierceness and see what happens in the Kentucky Derby. Domestic product. I had him at fair odds at 50-1. Why? G3, Chad Brown. He hasn't won one of the prep races. I know that doesn't count, but I had him at 50. Horse Racing Nation had him at lower at 30. So there it is right there. So that's not bad on the tail end of the superfecta. Track Phantom, that's I had him at 30. Horse Racing Nation had a 30 at fair odds. West Saratoga, I had him at 50. Horse Racing Nation had a 30-1. Just Deal the D. Wayne Lucas charge at 50-1. They really must like him. I mean, they got him down to 30-1. Mystic Dan, 30-1. 30-1 from Horse Racing Nation. So that says Grandmo first, 99. I had him at 99-1. Came in third in the Santa Anita Derby. In the Florida Derby, beaten off by a plethora of lengths. And they had him at 31. Anna Marie, 50. Horse Racing Nation at 30. These are pretty much every horse that should be running Kentucky Derby. Might be one or two that's not in there, but they're juggling. We still got 2 weeks before the Kentucky Derby. And right now, as I would state, my key bet in his active trifecta at the moment would be Sierra Leone over Forever Young, Innocent Catching Fever in the Superfecta. If you like with the best product in the tail end, key him down in the third or fourth spot. That's how I would play it. So I reduced down the bet. But the exactas would really look really good, especially if you have Sierra Leone going off at, say, even drops down to 5-2. But if you have something as, say, Endlessly, if they don't like him and he floats up there and stays between 25 and 31, that's about a good $75 for exacta for $2, maybe even more because the pool's going to be big, so maybe you get about 110. So that is my call right now. I should have another segment before the Kentucky Derby to see if there's any late scratchers, early or horses that are injured or workouts. And I'll give this information as soon as I get the information. I'll let you know, ladies and gentlemen. And this is James Ramos from At the Quarter Pole. Have a good evening, folks.